In this video, we're going to talk about the 4 most common myths of self-organized and self-managed teams and how to ensure that you never fall for these traps. First off, the concept of self-organization, self-management are central to Agile practices like Scrum and Kanban. The 11th principle of the Agile Manifesto: the best architectures, designs, requirements emerge from self-organized teams. Looks pretty important to me. The idea is simple. Instead of being based on roles and individual responsibilities, people volunteer for tasks and continuously collaborate as a team. People usually think that self-organization and self-management are the same thing. But there's a slight difference. In self-organization, the team owns the how and the who. Basically, how to do something and who does it. The team members volunteer to take up new tasks. In self-management, the team owns the how, the who, but also the what. What needs to be done. The team decides on their own destiny. They decide on what to build. There are 4 main key benefits of self-organized and self-managed teams. First, speed. The team decides on how to meet deadline in a way that works for everyone. The team can also crank out products at a faster rate. Second, agility. Self-organized teams are more agile. They welcome change. They can quickly shift gears. And this ensures that the team is always working on high priority, high value products and services. Number 3, quality and focus. Generally, in big companies, when a product and service is built, managers tell the team how to build it. They tell the team what needs to be done in the product, what kind of features need to be available in the product. But in self-organized and self-managed teams, that doesn't work like that. The team decides, the team owns their destiny. They decide what to do, how to do it, and who does it. They can get feedback from customers to guarantee that they are working only on things that are important to customers, because at the end of the day, we are trying to maximize value. That's why self-organized teams are so much better than a manager somewhere who has no idea on the product and service deciding on what to build. Customers know. Ask for feedback. Let the customers tell you what they want. The 4th benefit is time. Assigning work constantly, checking for status, micro-managing employees are gone in a self-organized and self-managed team who can handle the work themselves. Now, would you say that Scrum is about self-organization and self-managed teams? Obviously. The team decides on what to build, how to build it, and who does it. The team decides, not a manager somewhere, but still countless people don't understand that. Let's go through some common myths. Myth number 1, people are lazy. I feel that's the number 1 reason why some people are against self-organized and self-managed teams. There's this belief, quite common belief, that people are lazy. They are dumb and they need someone to constantly be managing them so that they can get the work done. Managers, middle management, I've talked to many senior people in companies, big companies, small companies. They always understand what self-organization and self-management is. But they don't quite agree with that. They don't quite agree that someone would volunteer to take up a task. They don't believe in that. They believe that if you let the free will to someone to volunteer to take up tasks when they are idle, when they are available, this person won't be productive. This person won't do it. You need to have someone constantly be micromanaging this person to ensure that this person is productive and not idle. The funny thing is that the concept of people being lazy is based on a very strong cognitive bias called fundamental attribution error. Basically, the tendency to attribute someone's action to their character or personality. A typical example is someone being late to a meeting because of traffic. There's a reason. Late because of traffic. And 2 people in the meeting, they see someone coming in. They know that it's because of traffic, but they ignore it. They still attribute the lateness, the action, to a person's character. So they say that the person is flawed. simply because they were late. Myth number 2, bosses must go. There's no reason to have bosses in a self-organized and self-managed teams. Well, first, we have all experienced that at least once in our life. I hope that you experience that. A horrible boss, someone who holds information, takes countless hours to make basic decisions, selfish, always focused on their own career to the expense of others, loves the limelight, always the exposure, always talking, always taking credit for other people. Well, the issue here isn't that bad bosses exist. They have existed in the past, they currently exist, and they will exist in the future. There will always be people like that. The issue is more that we need to handle these people. We need to make these bad bosses go somewhere else. We need to get rid of them in the company or find some way to make them grow and really understand this culture of self-organization and self-management. Because as long as these people are senior, middle management, upper management, and they don't believe that people can be self-managed and self-organized, forget about agility, forget about Scrum, forget about all these things. This won't work as long as these people either don't understand or they are gone from the company. What I usually suggest doing if you have bad bosses in your organization is to find the good bosses, the good managers. There should be good bosses in your organization. Find them. Find the Scrum Masters, other Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, if there are Agile coaches in your organization, then collaborate together to craft a plan on how to handle these bad bosses. Either make them change or try to get rid of them. Myth number 3, people feel better without hierarchies. I've heard this one a lot. I'm sure that you've also heard this one a lot. I've heard this one especially from people who are trying to sell me something Agile related. Maybe Scrum, maybe Agile, maybe Kanban, or maybe an application, Jira, or something like that. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that people are as concerned to whom they report to as we think. Some people believe that making a team self-organized, self-managed will automatically make them more motivated, perform better, be happier. That's not always the case. People are more concerned, believe me, they are more concerned with a secure job, their salary, their career growth, opportunities in the company. Is the environment good enough so that they can grow, be creative, feel that they are appreciated by the company? All these things are important to someone, more important than being self-managed or self-organized. And all these things are still possible. All these things that make an employee feel better and perform better, all these things are still possible in a traditional pyramid-like, I would say, hierarchy. But you still need to have good managers. Most people are concerned to whom they report to. Only if this person is bad. If this person has some trust issues, constantly micromanaging the team, assigning tasks, not believing that the team can perform well, thinking the team is lazy. Obviously, this is not a good environment to work with. It has nothing to do with the structure. It's the manager, the problem, and people are only concerned with whom they report to when this person is bad. So handle the bad people. Handle the bad managers. Myth number 4, we are all entrepreneurs. One key difference between a classic employee and a business owner is that the business owner, no one is telling the business owner what to do or how to do it. Looks very similar to self-organization and self-management. And that's true. In self-organized and self-managed team, there's this belief that we are all entrepreneurs, that we have a power to decide on our destiny, how to build something, what to build, and who builds this thing. People volunteer and people own their destiny, which is very similar to entrepreneurship. The problem is that not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Not everyone has this entrepreneur gene. If they had this entrepreneur gene, maybe they would be an entrepreneur instead of being an employee. Working for yourself is hard. You need to reinvent yourself every single day. You need to constantly be focusing on value, how to bring more value to the customer, focusing on every single task that you do, high priority task only, not procrastinating, getting yourself to do the job without no one forcing you or telling you to do it. You own your destiny, and not everyone likes that. Not everyone can do that. But in reality, agile teams are expected to be self-managed, self-organized. There's a clear mismatch here between the expectation and the reality that not everyone is an entrepreneur. But with the right coach, that's why you need Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, good managers who are servant leaders. With the right coach, I believe that everyone can be a good entrepreneur. If the person really wants to be a good entrepreneur. But it's hard to change. It's hard to change from this classic mindset of having someone to tell you what to do. That's cool. You have someone to tell you what to do. You don't need to think about constantly be thinking about the customer, constantly be reinventing yourself or thinking what you can do. You have someone to tell you that. Some people like that. Most people like that. Working for yourself, deciding on your own destiny is scary, and not everyone can do that. But if you have a right coach, you can do that. Don't assume in your teams, when you're moving to Scrum or Agile, don't assume that everyone can be self-organized or self-managed. Coach them, which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.